inventory management, right? And the thing is, if you want to find out a different way of doing inventory, it's a standard, basically. It's a standard in the industry. The only thing is, if you want to do something different with inventory control is, like I said before, it's the platform, right? Traditionally, it's with this desktop, and then soon people move on to having it as a web application, right? And I think soon, and some already is moving from web application into a cloud application, right? So and also the advancement in inventory control management is being distributed. Means to say, for international companies, if they have, for example, and this is catered by a very large, very expensive system, part of the ERP, SCM, kind of like SAP kind of application, very, very expensive. But it can track inventory control not only from the warehouse only, but it can track and it can combine the inventory all the way from the factory and then supply chain, meaning the inventory that is in the plane, the ship, the train, okay, and at the destination warehouse, also at the retail. So this kind of system, our distributed system, they combine all the inventory, right? And so they know exactly in real time what's the quantity of certain product and where is it, because sometimes you cannot simply, like a naive, say, okay, my stock here finished. You just go to your factory, say, oh, can you produce more? No, you have to check warehouse. What is how many how much in the warehouse? How much is in transit, right? Inventory in transit. How much? All this lah, right? and you have to figure out if you have many retail or warehouses or even customers that you want to directly send your inventory. Then you have to figure out the flow of the inventory, which product, which stock go to where, which one, right? So it can be as simple as just a small company, a single grocery store inventory control system, or it can be as complex as a multinational inventory control system, right? And then in between, there are different complexity or different size of the inventory control system, right? Right. So that's inventory control. Anyway, you have a proposal for something new, something else?
Yeah. Actually, I want to use back what Sir said about like if there's a like student can, if they want to have the activity, then yeah, I mean, how to say, like if there's one activity, then other student can join in if they want to join in the activity or not, like for makan, for library, study group, like that.
All right. Okay. You want to create an student activity
Gathering system. Yeah.
scheduling system. So when you say activities, you say this is social activities.
Uh,
Is it
it,
social or exercises or studies or whatever lah you categorize? Is it?
oh yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put it
Activity.
in categories. So how does your system helps compared to the normal manual
So
way of doing?
so usually if the student want to meet up, they usually use the WhatsApp, right? But they don't have the number of unknown students. Like yeah, if yeah, like if they want to make the activity, it's limited to the contacts in their phone.
Yes. So your system is going to be the entirety
For
of the student population lah, right? And
yeah,
then they
yeah,
register. Okay,
Yeah.
they register the system. And okay, so I need to know the functionality that your app is going to provide.
Okay, okay. So, for example, if like the activity already finished, then each of the member can rate each the student lah, how reliable they are. If like, for example, they show up or not, do they conduct the activity well or not? Yeah.
All right, so this activity, is it official club societies activities or just typical
Uh,
social activities?
just typical social
Typical.
activities.
Okay. How is it different from just simply having Google Calendar and allowing your people to just access the Google Calendar and create activity there, like an event. Let's say
Hmm.
I create event and I just and people can add themselves to that. How is it different from that one?
If Google Calendar, they don't have the rating system, right? Um,
Mhm.
yeah, like
Okay.
so.
All right. So right, to explore this further, I need you to lay out the target user,
Target.
yeah, right? So you have to also list out the stakeholder, that is the user of the system, and the operator of the system, who actually manage the system, and the user are the ones that going to use the system. I assume they can log in after registration. They can log in and do things right inside the system. There's a user facing and there's management facing part of the system. Correct?
Yeah. Can I say the
Yeah.
stakeholder is the TIUC staff to manage the
I
system?
think at the moment, you the Thai UC staff will not be the will not be interested in handling that, right?
Oh,
So I believe it could be student
students.
representative or something like that. Something that is. That's why I
Oh,
was thinking just now. Is it activities? Because if if you say staff, which staff is going to do that? Are you targeting student
oh,
representative, or something like in our campus, Sabah campus is like in charge of students will be like Herald. That means like, is it like Herald? That means this is a additional task currently, because
mm,
in the manual system, that means no system at all, no digital system. No, but this is like you arrange yourself, the student arrange themselves, right? So you have to think about, if you ask the staff to do it, okay, because you're creating something that is not there previously. That means the staff has no responsibility on the students' general activities, right?
oh, okay.
Mm. So basically, what you can do is students self-register in the system, right? And student can self deregister, right? And maybe if a student population has the like a committee that oversees student welfare, but our we don't have that such kind of hierarchical structure for our students here in, okay, in TAUC themselves lah. I remember my university last time, they do have, they call it student union. Student union represents the students, so if anything, student union probably will be the ones that is in charge. But in Thai UC, there's no such thing as a student body to represent the students. I believe the closest will be SRC lah, right? Student
Oh,
Representative Council, right? Is it SRT? Do you think?
Uh, I forgot already. Student Representative Council, right?
Mm. So they are
So,
the like student union lah, right? Okay. So okay, so
oh,
that's why I need you to figure out who are the stakeholders, who are the users of the system, both the user and also the, if there's any management part, the management user. Secondly, you need to identify what are the current problem with the current way students are doing it, right? And how your system, your application can solve that problem. What's your app providing as a solution, right? So, in your mind, what is the current problem with the current way of doing student activities? I mean, between themselves, right? It's not official. It's not part of society or clubs, but it's just for a way for students to come together and do some activities, right? That's what you think. So, in the manual system, any problem with how students, you have to identify this. Then you can propose a solution by having your app, yeah, to uh, to justify your app, okay, your application.
can I just say this app is only during the pandemic, only for the pandemic duration?
Um, is there a difference between pandemic and endemic stage?
So yeah, if the pandemic is over, then the student can meet each other already lah. So like this app is like obsolete already.
Hmm, not very convincing, because we're moving towards endemic. Starting from next semester, students come back already. Come
Yeah.
back to face to face already. Our faculty lah. That means including our department here in Sabah. We all come back to campus to study already. There will be some blended lah option for some students who cannot come to campus, but the main thing will be that we'll restart back the face to face already. Any
Oh.
difference, ka? If they're face to face,
Uh,
they can use you can still use the app, but what's the difference, ah?
but maybe if they even there's no pandemic, also I don't think they can get all the context of all the students. Um, yeah, they only get like 50% of the students in the campus only, but not 100%. Actually, I want to like connect the API for the student what student database, the student ID like that.
That's another thing. I don't think we can access the student. There's a issue of privacy.
Oh,
Issue
so
of
maybe
privacy.
that means I just create my own dummy data, right?
Mm,
Oh, okay.
right. So, of problems and solutions, and after that, functionalities of your program. Okay, what will be the functionalities? What is your program providing? I mean, what's functions of your program, lah? Okay, and also whether it's a web app or is it a mobile app. To be honest, if a student is using it, they probably want to use mobile app.
Can I create both web app and mobile app? Since the scope is too small, then I just create two
I
platform.
worry if you try to build two clients, mobile and web app, I'm not sure whether you can complete on time.
Oh,
Yeah, so either you choose one lah, whether it's a web application that is responsive, means it can if you open up inside a mobile web browser, then it can resize itself, or you can just use a mobile app, and then your mobile app link to um, a database lah, and then your database probably, yeah, just that means different clients lah. instead of because your back end still has the your server side still got the application, and they provide rest services. And then but maybe web, instead of web client, if you prefer, you can have a mobile app client. That means your mobile app connects to your web service. Okay, and the back end, the database. Okay,
Okay. Yeah,
but
I think prefer mobile lah, cause yeah, same. I take the elective
mm,
mobile
mm.
application development.
All right.
Um,
So
actually, I
yeah.
want to add in the functionality like chatting system,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, the one I'm not sure I can do it or not lah, cause this need extra research.
Yeah. And basically, the FYP encourage the students to do extra research to expand their knowledge beyond what they already know. Yeah. So this is actually encouraged, right? But not 100% everything must be new lah. That means if there is something that you need to build inside your system, that you need extra knowledge, then yeah, you can do some self study to get that functionality into your system. Right. So,
Okay.
but I just have to say this. I worry the functionality is too small. If you say
Yeah.
scheduling, right? Is you're basically doing the schedule, and will your system be able to do the scheduling by looking at the students' calendar? Let's say Google Calendar, where they also have the academic, uh, you know, academic.
Or means link to the calendar.
Yeah, that means the system is able to view, let's say a group of three students. Okay, they want to have an activity. Okay, and then the system is clever enough to find a slot for the activity by looking at a potential slots lah that they can choose. Looking at and merging the three calendars, they have access lah, because it's your own, right? Let's say you, Noel, Kelvin, and Farah. So the system will have access to all three of your calendar, right? Yours, Kelvin, and Farah. And then by superimposing the calendar events, then they can suggest lah, the app can suggest the options. Okay, options means the date and the time lah, right? That is all three is free, right? And you can select. So this is also part of the scheduling effort lah, kan?
No, because yeah, originally like the student they just uh, leave it open only the activity. So if other student want to join, they just click the join lah. If they don't, if they're not able to join, then you just
Yeah,
ignore
that's
it.
why we are trying to
Add
we are saying
function.
that we want the app to be a little bit smarter, more, you know,
Mm.
more innovative lah, right? Yes, you can have
Oh.
that way the student decide themselves when, if they're free, they join, right? But if you want to make it
Mm.
more interesting, more innovative, that means there is some kind of at least smart filtering from the app can help the user find the best, right? The best. Let's say, because look at the example like this. Let's say there's nobody creating the event. If I create the event, I don't know other people's free time. I just simply put there based on my own free time, and the possibility of students joining the event is low if it happens to be everyone busy at that particular time. You want to maximize the ability for students to join in, right? And usually you don't simply accept students, because sometimes the event is not like an event that requires a lot of students to join in. Maybe it's a study event, so you limit. They say you limit the group to small group, three, you say three students can join in, right? So those three students, they join in, then the event is closed, right? The event is closed to people joining in. Three already joined in. So date and time will not, now that the all three already joined in, including you four, then the system can now, you can just click, say, generate potential free time. Then they can list out. Okay, the system can list, oh, okay, this time, this time, this time, this time, right? Based on the criteria of each of the student joining into the activity, right? In that way, all the proposed date and time is can be what lah, uh, more suitable, because it's not going to be on a time when any of the student have already planned an activity, other activity. For example, this is just my thinking lah, to make the process um, uh, more smart lah, the app more smart, so that potential of student joining to go for the event is higher. Okay, just suggestion.
Oh, potential means like if the student already create the event kan, then the system will tell the user how potential the student will join like that. Is that
Mm.
what's meant?
Mm.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay.
yeah, this is just my suggestion. You can think of other ways to make it easier for your users to use your app. Okay, to reduce to optimize the joining, because of the date and time didn't clash with the other students punya,
Oh,
schedule lah.
okay.
The way I see it lah. And then you can have rate. Is it, you say you put review or rating?
Rate.
What do
That one I'm not sure.
you rate? Just now you say
Rating lah.
you have rating,
Yeah,
right?
rating. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 star,
So
4 star.
who received the rating? The student?
Uh, receive uh, one student to another student
They
in
rate
any
each
way.
other, is it? They rate each other.
Yeah, rate each other. Yeah. Then maybe they can put review like this student is reliable. They arrive on time.
Okay. I can foresee also the system have a recommender system where the student put in their interest, and the system based on what the student
Oh,
input. Okay, it's a form, right? And then the system can look at ratings, look at the activities, look at whatever, then can suggest to the student, okay, current available activities that student can join based on that means it's a recommender system to recommend to the student what activities
oh,
suitable for the it's personalization lah. If a student is not interested in sport, for example, then the system will filter out sports. If the student is interested in sports, depending on what the student already entered, maybe the student likes indoor sports rather than outdoor sport, then the filter reduce again automatically for the student. Student don't have to select multiple activities. It just reduce based on the student's interest, and yeah, something like that. Also potential.
so means when the student create the event, then they can recommend to another student based on the interest.
The system recommends.
Resist.
Let's say you
Oh,
go in,
system. Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
Let's say you go in. If you just click, oh, show me all the activities I can join, you can create, but you can join. So let's say you say, what activities I can join. If there's no recommendation system, the system just simply show all, and the student
Oh,
have to go and pick this one. I'm not interested in. But if the system the system asks the student what's what the student's interest and store it as a student profile. Then every time the student want to see what are the available activities, the system already know. Okay, don't show this one to the student. Student not interested in you know outdoor activities, more interested in indoor activities like watching cinema or whatever, can. So something like that lah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
get the idea.
yeah. Okay, so I think it has potential, but you have to fill up all the. I mean, you have to fill in all the right now not so clear, right? So I want you to come out with the remember the form two, okay, form two, what you fill up there, and then look at form three, what the moderator will judge your proposal on, right? So you have to prepare first the target user, okay. Second, what is the problem right now? Activities are done ad hoc, right? Without any application, just by word of mouth, I guess. By if you know someone, then you ask them. Okay, so that's you list out what you think is the current problem with the how the students uh, you know do the activities at the moment. Then after that, how what aspect of that problems you identify will be solved by your application, right?
Hmm.
Okay, and then list out the functionalities of your program. Okay, what I mean is if I run your program, I can see what the program can do, what your program is able to do for me as the user, right? And
Okay.
think about the innovation part, the innovative. Look at Form 3 to guide you what the moderator will look at. So you have to you look at the practicality and the innovativeness of your application. Okay, what part of your application is innovative? Innovative simply means okay, other programs maybe there's already is there. Again, you have to do something like the inventory control. If there is already a software out there, then you have to compare, look at what functionality that program has, what your program is going to provide in terms of functionality, and what is the innovation that your app is going to um, provide.
Means what my app have lah
Yeah,
compared to other
yeah,
apps that. Oh,
yeah, and it's something that's new, right? Something that's new, and something that the other programs don't have, that you have, that is something that is um, innovative, lah, right? A, a new idea of how to do things, or how to solve the problem, problem as in like very hard to find. Let's say one of the problem is very hard to. I mean, this is logical, lah, right? If I want to do activities, very hard for me to find people when I don't know the people, right? Because I'm new student, right? Or very hard to find because I don't know people busy or not busy, student busy or not busy. I want to, propose to watch movie, but I wanted to go with a friend, right? Since maybe I think it's a good idea to watch the new Eternals movie, but I'm not sure who I can, you know, this is one of how does your app uh, handle this kind of issue, right? For example,
like the filtering system, right?
filtering system, or yeah, and also yeah, correct, filtering system, and to suggest, and then so that means the system. Let's say when you log into the system can also like straight away pop up like, oh, new activities available this week, right? And then you can just ignore, or and then go into the system, or you can straight away click and see the details, right? The details, what are the activities, and if you would like to join, then you click on click enter on it, things like that, right?
Okay. So they can filter out which, like how to say, which student appear in the what the activity list. There's an element of
Yeah, yeah,
customization.
yeah. So yeah, so things like this, like seeing things like because you're a student yourself, you're proposing the system, you must have an idea why the system is uh, needed by students. So that means the students really find your app useful because, and then if you can answer that, that means you can figure out what's the current problem. If in terms of how does the what is the app is supposed to help a student, right? If it, what kind of problems student have that uh, they have that this app will help. Yeah.
Okay. I think yeah, that's the base part. Maybe I could add in some extra feature like quiz, like how to say, quiz battle. I don't know, sir, ever heard of it or not. I think I add it later, the that feature.
Mm. Yeah. You have to think about step by step lah. Okay. And you the most important is I think for you to have an idea what the program will do is what kind of problem it can solve, right? What kind of issue a student will have in terms of activities, whether they want to start an activity with other students or they want to join other students' activities or simply want to know what activities going on or things like that. What is the problem currently without your app, right? So and then uh, the solution will be what is the will be the functionalities your app will provide that can help students.
Oh yeah, about the article, right? Is it enough, if I put the web article online as a reference in the proposal?
Web article. Um, web article. What do you mean by web article? What web article?
Like just like something like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. You can use web article, but when it comes to like students, you can say why is it important that students have activities? You can open your argument like that, lah, right? You specify why is it of interest, lah? Why is your program because your program is going to deal with student activities in the first place. Is it student activities really something crucial? Okay, you can then find
Oh,
an article saying that okay, student really need in order for their well-being, well-being in education, they must have activities either to release stress or to be healthy or to, whatever, right? There will be articles, and then whatever you're saying, there will be a to backup article to basically give strength to your argument. So once you say that, once you show that yes, students really need to have activities, and right now the problem with student activities is uh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the problems lah that stop students from having activities, right?
oh,
Then there's where your app comes in, and with my app, okay, then you show the solutions lah that your app will provide in order to counter the list of problems with students trying to have activities, finding activities partner or whatever you found out lah, right? Yeah. So it's a convincing way to show that your app is needed, right? And
mm,
then you list out the functionality because of the solution. These are the functionalities, and you show my solution is innovative because then again. you write out what is so innovative about your solution. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, huh?
Mm, what else?
And you have a better idea to proceed.
So far, no. So I can come up with yeah, student what why activity is important and
Yeah,
why what's
yeah,
stop
that's
it
like your opening, yeah, like your
in
introduction
argument.
to introduce, okay, like a introduced to your reader to because your program is basically about student activities, right? So you want to make sure the reader understand that student activities is important. Why we should care about student activities, right? And then after that, you start to list out. But the problem with achieving all this is the current problem lah. Without your system, is this is the current problem. You list out that, and then you describe each one. And then after that,
Mm,
you are proposing your app as a solution, right? So, and then you write out, okay, what your program can do to help, right? And then that includes the functionalities your program has lah, that in order to provide that solution. And then you talk about what is the innovative factors in your solution, in your app.
mm. Is it alright if I put only two reference in the proposal?
I think it depends on what you want to say, right? But I think that means if you have less reference, it means you have less to talk about. In my opinion lah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
usually you have more lah. That means because you want to talk uh, more. That means you actually really know well the domain that you want to write your project
Means
on, your application on.
means
Yeah.
the more I read, the more I know what to say lah. Like that.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Oh,
So that's why
I see.
you have to do some literature review.
Okay.
Okay. Read about it. Okay. You understand more, and you understand more about your domain. You understand more about what the needs of the student, right? And you understand more why your app and the solution you propose is crucial or is suitable for to solve this kind of the problems you have lah, right? And I would suggest that you also think about in terms of not only a pandemic. Pandemic is actually you can't do much because a lot of restriction, right? A lot of restriction in the sense that MCO, you cannot go out. So no matter what activities, is always going to be online.
Ah, yeah. Huh.
So rather, you think about upcoming endemic where we do have activities, but what are the restriction now with the activities? Considering that we are in endemic phase, means we still worry about the
The spread.
yeah COVID factor, right? So if your system you want to provide a solution, the solution also have to keep this in mind lah, about the restriction on COVID lah. Yeah, that means
Okay.
your event cannot have too many people, for example, because like your grouping. I'm thinking of this kind of scenario lah, right?
Oh, so
Mm.
this system is like only like for few person only.
Not necessarily. It depends
Oh,
on what is the activity, right? In fact, if the activity is like, yeah, it depends. Let's say the activity is like studying together, right? Of course, even if you don't consider the pandemic, a study group too big is not going to be effective. Too many people, right?
oh,
Nah,
I see.
cannot also, yeah, right. But for watching movie, you can have a bigger group because when you enter Cinema, you segregated anyway based on the cinema SOP, right? So yeah, that means it's configurable. The activity is configurable by the person who is creating the activity. The way I imagine it is someone log into the system and he initiated an activity, so create an activity, right? So he can have
Ah,
control the some of the parameters of the activity lah, like how many people maximum.
yeah.
Uh, yes, things
Oh
like
no,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I like filter like which like how which what do you call it faculty? Like which faculty only RST
If it's
allow?
yeah, if it's a there's a reason for it. Every decision you make on your the features of your application, you must have in your mind a reason why. If you filter, why do you want to filter? Ah, if you
Oh,
can satisfy yourself that yes, we need to have this because then yeah, you can put in because then you can then justify the inclusion of that feature in your system, right?
okay.
With any other software development, you always have to justify user requirements, right? You also always have to justify the feasibility of your program. Okay, and there are many feasibility that you have to consider: technical, technology, budget, time to completion. All these are feasibility. Okay, whether the technology exists, algorithm exists, or right, all these they are, you know, domain-based feasibility for an app, right? And also justification lah, why certain feature is inside or functionality is part of your system. You have to have a reason why the feature is there, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm, is there PHP for mobile?
PHP works with PHP is always a back end. PHP is server side
Oh,
scripting. Yeah.
oh,
So mobile usually what you're presenting as a mobile app is actually, if it's not standalone, it's actually the client. So it gets its
client.
data from somewhere else, from a server somewhere. So PHP is
Oh,
always running at the server side. PHP is a server side script language.
oh, oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So for the mobile app, usually you will use some kind of um, usually it's Java, all right, Java language lah. And then usually for the framework for the app, Android lah, either you use Kotlin. Right now is Kotlin is the in thing lah with developers, or you can use JavaScript if you're using like Electron framework. You can also, I believe, use if you're Microsoft, going with Microsoft Xamarin, and any other React, React
Oh,
Native, React Native for Android also. You have it's a framework also, right? So many options. It's up to you which one you choose.
okay.
Yeah,
Kotlin is front end, right? Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's one of the, yeah, for mobile app.
oh, okay.
And I think React Native. Let's see. Just yeah. Kotlin mobile cross platform can use for Android. Kotlin
Oh,
programming language, and then you have the React Native for Android. Um, okay, so just show you just uh, I take over.
okay.
Hmm. So, for example, Kotlin, right? Okay, Kotlin, you can use Kotlin. You can also use this one, React Native on Android, right? So you can see React Native using JavaScript. JavaScript is client side, right? So it's, yeah. So it says
Oh,
Meta is actually from Facebook. Now Facebook call themselves Meta. So React Native, right?
oh, it's from Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, Android. The thing is why people like to use this kind of framework is because it's right once used many times. So Android, iOS. Okay, so let's say you want to write for Android, use React Native, or you probably prefer to use Kotlin, right? Also, again, single code base means it's portable, whether you use Android or iOS mobile, kan? Uh, you write once only, so that's why it's popular, I guess. Yeah,
Oh, so if portable, use React Native.
React or Kotlin also same,
Kotlin.
right?
Oh,
It's also not bad. Yeah,
okay.
okay, yeah.
Hmm. Think that's it now.
Yeah. So you prepare, do some literature review to fill in the gaps I was talking about, right? And in our next meeting, you can present me what your finding is. Okay. Uh, and we my concern is the functionality. Okay. So I let you do some literature review to find out other if there's any other software, what are their functionalities. You can then look at your functionality, uh, and you know those common functionality you find from other apps. That means you probably will need to have those also. Then we can look at your functionality, how we can or how you want to bring in your own ideas, and also that means we can also convert it or maybe transform some of your ideas to make it more innovative, right? Like I say, provide some kind of innovation is providing some automation, filtering, or personalization for each user when they go in. Due to their profile info, the system can like suggest. Maybe there's a recommendation system, right? And maybe your system can also look at the, you know, where your address is. So probably certain activities, the system can tell through location of your, because there's no point to group together people coming, staying at very far away. For example, right? Example, yeah.
Means
The
the
system can
student current
suggest,
location.
yeah, the system can like suggest, um, activities that's closer to you, right? Let's say you live in, where do you live, Noel?
Kalan Sanang.
Where?
Kalan Sanang.
Lansana, where is that?
Near Hinanam.
Yeah. Okay. So in Annam, then there are activities going on with students. I know it's far, but there are students living in Putatan. And
Oh,
then to show you activities you, yeah, which the system thinks you like, but it's actually so far away. Maybe there are possible any other activities closer to to you, so that it's not too far. Perhaps maybe this is
oh, oh.
the kind of smart part of your app, right? That can help the user, can ease the user using the system, right? Location based suggestion, isn't it?
Can the activity like can be outside of the campus?
Why not? Because you say there's student activity, ma. It does
Oh,
not need
oh,
to, let's say, a study activity. Maybe you guys prefer to to go to friend's house for study, or go to Starbucks, or you prefer to go to, I don't know lah, due to the pandemic restriction, how the seating arrangements are. But I think now that the some places they have table that can accommodate more than 2 person, right? Or maybe things like that lah. So yeah, activities maybe not necessarily restricted to only in campus, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of students actually not stay near campus. So if you restrict to campus, I don't think much activity can go on, because in campus you are limited to the hours dictated by your timetable,
Oh,
right?
right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't believe Saturday activity you all want to go back to campus. I mean, and from the student point of view, lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the student representative, right, manage the system, not the TIC stuff.
Yeah, that's just my opinion lah, because I think these student activities could be not related to official TAUC activities, mah. So shouldn't, I think staff shouldn't be the one to manage this.
Mm.
Mm. So the
Okay.
only student body I think of is represent the whole of the student population is the SRC, right?
The
So
members, right? Not
yeah,
only single person.
yeah.
Oh,
So I was if you want to find out more, you can find out who is the current SRC and ask their opinion. Ask their opinion.
oh,
Yeah, it's good to have real stakeholders' opinion. You can ask. That means that you can even include it later in your user requirement report. You say the data finding or fact finding, right? Either you use interview, you use questionnaires, you use survey forms or whatever. This also you record it, right? If you do an interview,
oh,
ask them, oh, can I interview for, I'm thinking about this app. Then maybe using a Google Meet also, you can arrange with whoever you want to interview. You can record your findings there, right? Yeah, so
oh,
SRC, maybe you can find out who's the president, who's the organizing committee. Then you can choose to interview one, two, three, up to you, right? See what they have to say about it. Maybe they themselves have an idea about, oh, you know what would be good. They will tell you, it's a fact finding on your part, right? So you can combine
oh,
fact finding from your literature review. You can combine it with the data you get from interviewing the stakeholders, possibly. You can ask them maybe, do you agree, in this kind of what the management should be maybe SRC members, they have access to the system, they can help manage, whoever the committee that's active during this academic year, then they take over the job or something like that, right? To maintain, but you have to figure out first what are the management feature of the system. Do we really need the management feature? And if you do need, what kind of feature in your system that needs needs the management admin user, right?
oh. Yeah, they manage. I don't know what they are supposed to manage.
Yeah, that's why
When
you
they,
have to do some literature review first and see what kind of features should be there by looking at example application if there is already lah, right? Something similar to this kind of application. Then you have an idea. Okay, what are features in the available current system is that there is there lah, right? Or you can also figure out by just listing out first what your system should have, right? And then see whether there's any need for management feature, right? So, but again, you start with problems, okay? Problems, right? You can, if you find difficulty thinking about yourself, you can ask students, right? You can ask SRC members. You can start asking students. What is their problem with student activities, right? You can ask them. Okay, let's say we already endemic phase lah, so we're now allowed to go to campus. So what are activities that you thinking should is really will be nice to have, okay,
Oh,
activities that is not part of the um, you know normal club society activities lah. Then from there on, you actually have the actual response from students. Who is your user or stakeholder,
oh,
right?
okay.
Mm.
Okay, I think that's it lah. Yeah.
Okay, right. So let me know once you have an idea. We can arrange another meet for you to update me on your findings. Hopefully, you get all the information, right? If you have any question, direct question that you can't wait, then you can PM me also, right?
Okay. Oh,
Mm.
yeah. On 29, I have to submit, right? The proposal.
29 is when I mean I can, if you need some time, since you change your mind, uh, I can delay it a bit, right?
Oh,
My,
can be.
for me, if there's a good reason to delay, I delay. I want you to be sure what is the application that you're building, and the application is something that is uh, both practical and has innovative portion, right? And at the end of the day, I want you to go through the process of um, this process. So if you got the finally come up with a proposal, right? I want it to be something that is um, okay, it's good, right? So that when we are doing the project one, project two, there's no longer reason to change topic, or I finally suddenly finding out something not feasible, things like that, right? Yeah.
Oh, once the project one already done, cannot change at all, really, right?
Uh, Sometimes it's very difficult because the crucial thing is there's no time.
Oh,
If you change
okay.
right in project one, you lost a lot of the effort. Now you have to restart.
No, I mean change
And
the like few features only.
a few features, uh, yes, may possibly can, but I hope not, because again, uh, you have to see, there's a lot of things you need to do once the features, maybe the internals, the whatever can be changed lah, but suddenly no major changes lah. If you major changes means a lot of the things you've done have to be replaced, and
Mm.
it's 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 not good for you lah, because you waste a lot of your time.
Oh,
Yeah, so if it's not major changes, hopefully it's not major changes lah. It's minor changes, okay. Yeah, it's all right.
okay.
Mm. Because if you look at you check out the the cost file part, where you can see that you have the cost specs for project one, and also the rubrics. You see that in the rubrics, I shared in the Google Drive, Google Classroom. You can see what is the deliverable, what we examiner check on and the moderator checks on. So you see that if you change major things, I just worry your time is now limited, right? limited. So imagine in your mid of next sem, week 7, week 8, then you want to change, then you have to rewrite everything, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah. So we
yeah.
don't we want to avoid that lah, as much as possible.
Mm.
That's why
Okay.
I want the proposal to be as clear cut in your mind, right, and still meeting the requirements. Okay. So if you need guidance, you check back the FYP guide, the PDF that I shared in the Google Classroom, and check under RSD. Okay, check under RSD, and you see um, again what it's saying lah. Right?
Mm.
So very quickly lah, before we end our discussion. So let me just go very quickly go to it and
So
yeah.
present.
So information there, FYP. Let me just share the screen. Okay. So what I mean is this part now. That's RIT, RIS, REI. Let's repeat. Where is it?
I think
REI,
it's down.
RIS, RIT, RSD. This one, right? So you can see, right? So in fact, your application, if example projects uh, for RSD is actually more traditional.
Oh,
You
no
can
wonder.
see that, yeah. If and all because it's easier for you, right? If you say it's
Yeah.
originally you want to propose the inventory control system, right? Yeah, it's easier because you can see all the functionality of the inventory control system, right? So you can propose it already, right? And the only thing is maybe you introduce one or two something innovative about your system, right? So I ask you to check the inventory control system. Is there any that is web-based, right? So web app or uh, maybe even a client that is mobile based, mobile app based, right? So it doesn't have to be the multinational type of inventory control. It can be for a small, medium-sized company, right? But maybe if did you find out whether there is a mobile app version with a
Yeah. They got the scanner,
sorry
the special scanner device to scan the QR code. That's
ah
one of this one.
scan the QR code, right? Maybe also barcode, even a barcode scanner to update. Maybe your yeah, it's okay. It's okay that it's not something new, right? Just that you compare all the functionality, then you can add in maybe one or two innovative functionality, right? So
Actually, I was
mm,
like the RPA. What RPA? That's ever heard of it? The
RPA,
robotic, yeah, robotic process automation.
yeah,
Actually, I want to implement that, but so, like it's not that big to the
yeah.
inventory.
So it could be, yeah, it could be implemented as part of your inventory control.
Oh,
Your inventory control you create, and then the RPA part you add in as the innovative part, the
oh,
AI part of it. RPA is part of the ML, machine learning AI. This is is automation. Nowadays, it's very popular amongst industry to have automation, some part of automation because it is more efficient and less labor intensive. So the RPA you wanted to apply on what?
the inventory, but yeah, already changed the title, right? So yeah,
Oh, yeah
I,
lah.
I the saying.
Yeah, but because I see that you are still unsure about the functionality of your system, that's why I worry. The thing is with the inventory control, you already did you know the comparison. You already know the base functionality of the system. So the only thing you need to add is the additional things, right? And maybe to keep it up to date, it could be a web app or it could be a mobile app, right? If it's a mobile app, that means companies can use um, you know the mobile capability, right? Means the system can know, right? You let's say you're doing stock check. That's part of the inventory control. So the system, you can use your camera to basically do barcode scanning, right? So you don't need additional. I mean, this is for a small company, having that app that has the barcode scanning for checking stock maybe is one of something that maybe is good. Maybe I'm not sure. Did you find, is there the mobile app for inventory control? Can it scan
The
barcode?
barcode.
Can it?
Uh, not sure. I haven't discovered it yet.
Ah, that means because there is a barcode library for you to build to for UPC, you can scan the you know the product lah, right?
Oh,
You
means use
can
the
scan,
camera only.
yeah, use your camera to scan, then they
Oh,
update, yeah, do for stock checking, something like that, right? So that means it's budget a budget version for small companies to have the options of doing using their mobile app or your mobile app in the mobile phone to do it without purchasing extra, in particular barcode scanner, and then you know carrying on the only other that I know of is like SASB carrying around their something like that lah, a small portable PC to you know or device to carry and scan, right? uh, Whereas if you're using mobile, you scan, it automatically update direct to your server, right? You you get what I mean?
oh yeah.
I mean that one part is also already a good innovation. Okay, you can say target market is small medium-sized company that maybe, yeah, an alternate for them. They don't have to purchase because my app has the built-in barcode scanner or something like that lah.
Means the machine already got its own what database,
Sorry.
the one the SCSB using the small device, the
Yeah, yeah,
small
yeah. They have those
portable.
machines, but yeah, you have to purchase it separately. We are talking about the normal mobile phone. Have this capability,
Oh,
can scan. Yeah, can scan.
okay.
That means it's using machine vision lah, the camera to detect barcode rather than using a laser barcode barcode scanner lah. Let me just using camera, use the mobile camera to scan product barcode. Right, so this feature is already available, but I'm not sure whether people already connect this capability to a inventory control system. Right, how to scan barcodes with Android phone
Oh,
using barcode. It's already functionality is there. not only can scan
But
QR, but can scan barcode
oh,
also. I mean, if you want this as one a part of your to differentiate, okay. If you find out that other mobile app, inventory control mobile app, right? Um, uh, whether they have or not this feature lah. Okay, so this is one way for you to differentiate also, isn't it? Yeah.
what if I implement the chatbot in my system? Is it
Chatbot.
that yeah, like if the student stuck, they unsure don't know what to do, then they just use the chatbot
Uh, I'm not sure. Following you, your chatbot is used for what?
just to guide the user how to use the system, like what to press for this and this.
Mm, chatbot, because the if you create a chatbot, it will take a significant amount of time. Uh,
Oh,
can also, right? But you have to really investigate first if you want to implement chatbot, right? Um, what kind of system are you going to use? Because I believe there is a like a example like a chatbot platform already. If you want to use that, uh, I don't know whether they have free version or not. If you want to implement from scratch, I think it will be
oh,
take a fair bit of your time to implement that. Whether your chatbot understand natural language or just keyword. Natural language means I can just type whatever I want, and then your system can, your chatbot can understand my English, right? Which may not be perfect, or just pick up the keyword. Or that means the the user needs to just type certain keywords, right? From a menu or from keywords that you know
oh,
Okay. Yeah, you have to do a brief investigation on chatbot, and then you know what is it that you want to implement the chatbot, uh, the coverage lah. I would say how how much how big is the scope for your chatbot in order to implement in your app, right? Because it depends on what functionality you want your chatbot to provide, right? If it's a simple FAQ and how find out what the technology you need to use for that, right? For let's say FAQ, what kind of where do you store all your knowledge base? Uh, like again, to understand natural language or simply just keywords, all this lah. You have to know lah. You have to know this, and still
oh,
to figure out the features of your main program. So this is part of that.
okay.
Okay. So uh, I just want you to think if you want to go with the inventory control, or do you want to go with the um,
Oh, for the
program?
inventory, I completely disband
Hmm,
already.
sorry, the inventory you
The
don't want already.
yeah, don't already.
Totally don't want lah.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally don't.
Right. So you proceed with the one that you propose, okay, and then fill in the gaps that I mentioned earlier on, right? So that in our next meet you are ready with all the details, right? And then we'll see the functionality and right how you can. While you're doing that, I want you to have a look at the Form 3 and Form 2, because you have to do the write up in Form 2, right? And be aware of the Form 3 compliance that the moderator will look at lah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that will guide your research lah, research on this lah.
So by coming up with this, what the system just now, is it considered innovative enough already, right?
The innovation comes from the what
The
are the thing
feature.
is it's not necessarily the whole program is innovative. It could
Oh,
be the program still provide uh, normal features, but the implementation of maybe one or two of the features using innovative solution.
innovative solution.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
for
I
one or
get.
two of the feature, right? Not necessarily the whole program has to be innovative, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
as long as part of the solution, there's some innovative aspect to it lah. That means, for example, like what I said, if you're thinking about the activities, right? So the part where the system can recommend, right? Based on the profile info, based on your previous, activities that you did, you like, you rate, based on your geolocation, maybe because some activities too far for you. So combination of all these factors, the system can provide a recommendation list of activities maybe you want to join. So this part is the innovative part. But the part where there's software development, still you have to implement all the other things lah, like login, the database to keep, the data entry for when you say you create, you know, the activity. Let's say you are the initiator, you create an entry lah, right? Activity, right? And then you fill up all this and validation. All this still is part and parcel of software development. Okay, the innovative comes in how you implement some parts of the solution, right? And usually some automation or some kind of recommendation system or some kind of smart filtering, this thing is the innovative part, right? So usually,
Oh, okay.
yeah, usually um, we look at the solution, we look at the solution, how you provide the solution using your app. Is it innovative or not? Using some form of solution that other app maybe don't have. Your app has got this one, but it's very useful because it's actually very helpful to the user. Then that's considered as innovative also, and you can highlight it in your proposal lah, right? So, my system can recommend a list of instead of just showing the user all the available activities they can join. The system is clever enough to look at and you know it's using some form of recommender system, okay,
Mm.
to come up with recommendation, say it like that, right?
So yeah, they're still figuring out how to get the API from the Google Calendar. Don't know
Yeah.
possible or not.
Okay. Right. And my main worry is the functionality that you're going to provide. Is it enough or not? So you have to list out, okay, list out all the, right, and to fill out, do literature review, look at all the other similar type of system what they provide. Okay, the similar functionality means that is the most popular. That means you should have it also. Second way to find information is to ask your user. Since your target user is the student population, then you can ask them lah, do an interview. Usually, if we have standard question, then we give them a questionnaire lah, or a survey. Okay, if you want to do that, you can create Google form and then you can create the link. Okay, make it available to all students or to the student that you want to ask using questionnaire. But if you want to use interview method, then okay, you decide lah who you want to interview and get their opinion and take down their opinion. What and then use that in your consideration when you're deciding what functionality to provide. So, or you can combine both set of information. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Is that sufficient for now for you to continue and maybe do some?
Yeah, I think sufficient enough.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
can
yeah,
just
when you're ready, we can arrange another meet. Okay, but you can
okay.
update me on what you have lah. Huh?
Okay.
We plan. At first, I would plan for you to submit next week, but if not ready, we'll see. We'll see lah how, because next week is week 5 already, kan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, hopefully no more changes. So if uh, the most I can, maybe week 6 lah, right? Maybe you can submit the proposal already. Okay. So
Okay.
by next week, maybe you can have a draft already of your proposal, and you can update me in our meet lah, the proposal.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
So can dismiss us.
Sorry.
Can dismiss the meeting.
Yeah, can. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Should be
sir.
okay. Yeah. All right. No.